And good afternoon, my friends. This is Frank Fry coming to you from Frank Fry's Garage in Gainesville, Florida on a Saturday afternoon. Today we're going to take a little look at Vows of Iron. A quick look, really, because actually I was asked to send pictures by Alan Campbell, the author of Vows of Iron. Well, first of all, let me just say something straight up. This is one hell of a good set of war games rules for the medieval period. You want to fight big battles? This is the one. This is the one for you. I cannot recommend these rules highly enough. They're very good. Very, very good. I will tell you, though, one of the big reasons why they're good is because of these. These are the dice that are used to resolve combat. This is basically the combat chart, with each unit having its various characteristics. Get out of my way. It's a bottle of glue. Color-coded. You roll against each other. It eliminates a lot of the sitting there and doing this and doing that and going, oh, well, oh my, Well, let's see about this, and let's see about that, and let's see about the other thing. I think there was a set of rules out called, a long time ago, called Lionheart. And that was one where you had to figure up all sorts of modifiers and everything else. And what a chore. Not worth it. Not worth it. What I intend on using Vows of Iron for is Game of Thrones, actually. Now, I haven't read the books, and I've only seen parts of the TV series. But I do have the role-playing game, which is still out there. Song of Ice and Fire, Game of Thrones edition from Green Ronin Press. If you're really into it, pick it up. Really good. Okay, so now that I've told you about what the rules and what I'm doing with them, let's have a look at my first units, because, well, it's going to take a while. For one thing, I'm heavily into Saga, and in fact, tomorrow I have a Saga demonstration. Those are Vikings and Saxons. And that's kind of the tip of the iceberg. However, without further ado, let's have a look at House Tyrell. Okay, now some of these these are still works in progress, which is a polite way of saying, my hand's hurting, I don't want to paint anymore. Or I've got this other stuff to do for this particular project. But if you'll note, I put all of the infantry on movement trays. Why? Because it's a lot easier. Remember, the unit does the fighting, not the individual figure. I could have one figure on each of these trays. It would still be a game. Wouldn't look very good, but it'd still be a game. So let's have a look at House Tyrell. Okay, a little bit of the background. I'm going with the idea at the end of Season 6, Mace Tyrell and everybody else, they're gone. All the leaders of the families are gone. Ploop, thud, crash, boom. The only one, I'll get to that in a minute. However, it doesn't mean there can't be other forces out there. So I'm going to take a look at this. We're going to take a look at it. Now, the other thing that this draws on is, my God, I forgot his name. Oh, Jim Hale and his excellent resource called Harlequin's world. He deals with the Wars of the Roses. And since Game of Thrones, based on the Wars of the Roses, the Starks and the Lannisters, you know, the York and Lancaster, come on. I picked House Tyrell because, well, I like them. Anyway, we're going to take a look, because these are formed up as close as I can get it to an actual Wars of the Roses retinue. Now, the big difference is Lion Rampant, another game I really love. In fact, there's the big three that really, you know, I get going on, and that's Saga, Lion Rampant, and Vows of Iron. Okay. So the first thing we're going to look at is, this is in essence the heart of Vows of Iron. These are dismounted men-at-arms. You see a few in there, and these are also heavy foot. Yeah, these are actually retainers for, well, my command character, Sir Magnus Tyrell, or is that, no, that's Sir Magnus Tyrell. Excuse me. Who has, of course, he is in mourning basically for the loss of Marguerite, to which he says, "My poor cousin Marguerite." What a nice set of one, you know, I think you get the picture. So let's have a look. Now, the first component we have here are archers. They're actually longbowmen. And these are the veteran retinue longbowmen from the rule book. Vows of Iron has a very good and extensive set of army lists. Wars of the Roses list is great. Okay, 2 parts. Both, one is 8 figures. These guys here, these are the archers. The other, 12 figures. And as you'll note, although a lot of them are in jacks and helmets, you're starting to see, and there will be some more, essentially dismounted men-at-arms. These used to be the guys riding horses. They're not on horses anymore. But boy, do they fight. Here is basically what I call it's basically a banner, and it's a livery banner. I have here this is the banner, at least foot-mounted. And yeah, I got to put the arm back on him. His arm popped off. I'm trying to remember how. It's one of the things about plastics. I can't get enough of them, but then on the other hand, the banner itself, the flag itself, is from Flags of War. Give a look at it. He does some great stuff. Go to Flags of War. It's not hard to find. Look under his fantasy, and it says fantasy banners. You know, you're looking at different flags. Fantasy banners. You click it on, and this was actually a fantasy rose banner. Obviously, that's enough to skirt trouble for copyright infringement, whatever. But he has got some magnificent ones. He's got the gold lion on the red field, obviously for, oh hell, House Lannister. He's got some nice stuff you could do for House Baratheon. Got a really cool one for House Karstark. And but anyway, these are my men-at-arms. These are my not crossbowmen. These are my longbowmen. Now, the reason why they are like this is because in the rules, if these guys get charged by the other side's people with pointy objects and rude intentions, they can basically do this and move to the back of the formation. because they're all the same retinue. And so now you have the big boys with the steel, the hands of steel, the swords and such. Okay, now we're going to move on. I want to get to this. This is the cavalry, or actually one of the cavalry units. Now, the interesting thing about Wars of the Roses is the fact that these are what would be called demi-lances. They're from Perry Brothers. Perry Brothers. You can also kit them out as mounted archers or mounted crossbowmen. But these are demi-lancers, or as they were sometimes called, prickers. My cavalry units will run anywhere from 4 to 6 figures across. In fact, my entire army, when I base them, and when they're drawn up, using my movement stands, which are from Litgo Aerospace, will run anywhere from 4 to 12 figures. Oh, you say, that sounds familiar.